Hello and welcome to another attempt at Eldfall Chronicles Northern Wind at the Iji Pathway. So, I had some time between the holidays. Yes, this is recorded roughly after Christmas. And I think I have a new idea how I want to approach all this. As you can see here, I didn't put up the encoder token 1. I already placed everything for encoder 2. If you want to see what happened there, it is the first attempt of this quest where I explain it in more detail. So, with all this said and done, let's jump into it. So I will start with Sagan, who will do move action to trigger the encounter. Second, he will go here, and then he will do a dodge action and trigger the first activation of the Forgotten Hero. So, Sagan will try to dodge with an 11. He is successful, agility of 11. The Forgotten Hero, with a 12, he would usually not hit because of the -6 penalty, because it is more than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, it's more than 10 spaces. So Sagan is allowed to dodge 1 space. And with the second activation, Sagan will do the same, trying to dodge. With a 5, he once again dodges successful. And a 19, the Forgotten Hero would miss anyway. Now, let's continue. Who is quite able to dodge and has great armor? It's Nara already. So, and she will do 1, 2, 3, and then try to dodge. Nara has an agility of 13. So let's see. 10, she successfully dodges, but a 19 would have missed anyway. She will go here. And her second activation, she will do the same. And by the way, Nara will cast Soul Leech onto herself in a chance to get some mana. And this was for Sagan and for Nara's first activation. And now Nara's second activation, she will try to dodge. With a 12, she's successful, as I said, agility 13. And no critical hit for the Forgotten Hero, and therefore he misses. Nara will go up to here, in this space. Now Theros will activate. He will use a run action, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, up to here, next to Sagan. He will activate a second time, go into the space with the Intrigue token. Now Neri will activate. She will 1, 2, and she will run 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And next time 1, 2. This time she will activate 1, 2. And she will use the Enchanter class to enchant Sagan with the Melting Touch to give him Ignore Armor and go into the same space as Nara. Excuse me. So, with all this done, this was the first turn of the heroes. And I definitely had to move an area here because otherwise 1, 2, 1 space, 1, 2, 1 space. She would have been only in the same place as Sagan and most likely an eligible target for the hostiles. But now 1, 2, 3, the hostiles will spawn here and most likely will target Sagan. So, with all this done, hostiles turn. At the start of each hostile turn, spawn random hostiles. Let's see, it's a 12. 12 is 1 tier 2 hostile. So, we have this one, who will have 2 activation points. And since it's a Forgotten Hero, he will stay where he is. Excuse me. And attack the heroes. And I think I will start with this one, because this one has currently no target, because he has no line of sight. So, it will attack the closest enemy, which is Sagan. It will activate, and Sagan will also activate. And Anari will activate 2. Whereas here the line of sight is quite in the middle. Yeah, I don't believe that Theros can activate here. But Nara could also activate if she wanted. She will wait with it because of the foresight. And Neri will wait because of the foresight. But most likely will activate. I will just turn it around to remember. Sorry, here to remember. Okay. Sagan will try to dodge. Forgotten Hero, 18 or less. With a 17, it is enough to hit Sagan. And with a 6, Sagan can successfully dodge, go 1 space up. And as I said, Anari will activate. She will cast a spell. And since she is only able to cast sorcery spells, she will try to cast the frost. It's a spray, which is not good. She will cast ice spikes. So with a 19, she failed, and the caster suffers attack on a roll of 20. So luckily, not charging herself because of the necromantic fog. Oh, and orange hostiles are not affected. Okay. With this hostile will activate once again and attack Sagan. Sagan will once again try to dodge. Sagan's dodge with a 4. The hostile with a 19 misses, and Sagan goes up to here. Now, the one here at the end can activate twice. It will shoot at Sagan. Here are no line of sight, so Sagan has to endure it. I will do both activations at the same time, just to save a little bit of it. 5 and an 8, these are 2 hits. Sagan has an armor of 6, it has a power of 13, therefore 7 or less is a wound. 3 and a 5, 1 wound and 1 weak point. And here we go. And I forgot, what do we have? Spawn 1 tier 1 hostile on the exit. Okay. So, 1 tier 1 hostile, 1 to 10, it's a Vengeful Spirit. It's an 18. So it is at the exit. 1, 2, 1, 2. So it shuffles only 2 spaces up to here. Because active roll, it makes a walk action. Yeah. To the close enemy. Okay. With this, let's turn around the activation token because it's the hero's turn. Reaction, and also, even if you will most likely not use it, reaction. So now, hero's turn. Nara casts Soul Leech onto herself. And Neri will cast Melting Touch on Sagan and Melting Touch on Nara. Therefore, she already spent both of her activation. Oh, I totally forgot that she has -2 to her offense, but with the 19 it's a failure anyway. And now, Sagan will activate and attack. Oh, before Sagan activates, I have to put it a little bit slower. And Neri activates first, meaning that this one activates and targets on Neri with an attack. So, Neri casts Melting Touch on Sagan and is attacked by the Forgotten Hero. With an 11, she is hit. And with a 17, she gets a weak point, but since she is hit with the bow, she loses her second activation because of the stagger quality. So only Sagan is enchanted with ignoring armor, which makes it a little bit more tricky. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Sagan will activate now. Attack the Forgotten Hero, which will trigger an activation from this Forgotten Hero. The Forgotten Hero's range attack, -10 in total. With a natural 20, it even hits its teammate. And with a 10, power 13, minus armor 6, it is not wounded, but gets a weak point. Here we are. And now it's Sagan attacks. 2 attacks by default. The Forgotten Hero has only 1 because of the reaction. And Sagan will reduce its defense of 14 by 3 because of Masterful Parry, Fencing Art 1. So, Sagan has offense 14 and the Forgotten Hero 11 or less. It's a 3. And Sagan rolls 17 and 3. So, both hit each other. The Forgotten Hero has a power of toughness -2. So 11 minus 6, it's 11 minus 6 is 5 or less. With a 2, Sagan is wounded. And now Sagan, ignoring the armor of the undead, 15 or less. It's exactly a 50, which is enough to put 1 wound onto it. And now the burn quality, 18 is not enough to wound it, but it gets a wound. Okay. Now Nara will activate. And Nara will cast Second Chance on Sagan. With a 15 and a 16, she has an intelligence of 13. Both are not enough. Therefore, Nara will activate once again, casting Second Chance on Sagan. A 4 and a 5 is enough, so Sagan is 2 times hit with a spell, regaining 2 points of damage. Here. Theros will activate, leaving his position. And using his sniper ability to shoot at the Forgotten Hero. Will he do that? He will not do that, because let's have a look at the hazy terrain. No range attack through from outside. Range attacks into against targets inside half attack modifier. Okay. Theros will use his haste bomb and throw it into the space of Sagan. With a 12, he is successful. And since it's a blast small, so therefore the adjacent, I will do these 2 spaces here. I'll just put an exit to remind myself here. These 2 are now hazy. And now Sagan is quite sure he will be able to defeat it, despite another attack from the Forgotten Hero here. So, let's see. A 13 is a miss, and this time Sagan will do the same as previously, so the Forgotten Hero needs a 11 or less. With a 3 it is quite good, and Sagan 14 or less, 10 and 8. This time he manages to defeat the Forgotten Hero. And a 10 is enough to wound, and a 9 is enough to burn it. And I think I forgot that the Forgotten Hero also managed to hit Sagan, and a 16 is not enough to wound him, so I will just give Sagan retroactively another wound, another weak point, sorry. And with this, hopefully Sagan is a bit more secured. All of my heroes have activated, except Theros, who has still 1 remaining. And Theros would also be still able to shoot. But let's turn this around. Let's turn these activation points around. And see what the quest has next for our heroes. A 17. 1 tier 3 hero. Opponent. 1, 2, 3. So here we have an Oni Marauder. Sorry. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. The Oni Marauder first activates. He has no enemy. He has a line of sight. Yes. Run toward the enemy. Rotate if. Okay. Run towards enemy within 1. So he will 1, 2. And will stay here. Theros will activate. He will, thanks to Batu, he can ignore the hazy terrain. and he will throw the soporific grenade. Let's see if Theros is good to hit, 14 or less. 16 is not good enough. Now the Oni Marauder will attack Sagan, and Sagan will try to dodge to get into contact. And because of the hazy terrain, it suffers -3 on the attack modifier. So it's only 11 from the Oni Marauder. And Sagan needs an 11 or less to dodge. 18 he fails. The Oni Marauder has a 9 and a 5, so 2 hits with it. 5 and an 8, these are 2 wounds. Sagan is still allowed to dodge into the same space. He is out of his activation and receives 2 wounds. Because the Oni Marauder has a total power of 19, -6 is 13 or less, and we have an 8 and a 5. So Sagan took 2 wounds. Theros failed. Nara has now a spell she could cast. And Neri has also nothing meaningful to do here. Next, the Oni Marauder activates. Sagan out of activations. So 2 attacks from the Oni Marauder. This is only 1 hit. And this 1 hit is good enough to put Sagan down. Sagan is incapacitated. Next, the skeleton, 1, 2, 1, 2. And now, since this undead the Forgotten Hero has no one to see because he has no line of sight, he will, I think it is walk. Otherwise, walk, stop with line of sight, 1, 2, 1, 2. Is here a line of sight? I think not. I would say from here there would be line of sight. So, with this done, excuse me, now it's the hero's turn, yeah. So turning around, turning around, turning around. Theros gets his items back. Okay. Nara will cast a Life Leech onto herself or Necrotic Wounds. On 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She could jump. She will cast Leech Life onto herself to gain life back if necessary. Okay, starting with Nara. She will cast this one. Is not hazy anymore because it is up to the strategic phase. Okay. Okay. Now range attack through from outside. Range attack into against targets inside half. Let's do it a little bit different. Soporific Grenade at this space with a targetless effective mounts must perform haste roll, sorry. Space become until you say okay. With a 15, Theros failed to do this. Oh, and Theros and Nara have stealth, but it doesn't matter right now. Okay, that was bad. 1, 2, 3, 4. Theros tries to use the Soporific Grenade at the Oni Marauder. The Oni Marauder tries to dodge, so Theros failed miserably. And the Oni Marauder with a 12 also failed to dodge. Okay. With this failure on Theros' end, let's see. Nara activates next. She tries to cast Second Chance on Sagan. 7 and 3 is enough to give Sagan 2 hit points back. And 1 activation point. And Sagan will immediately... Anari will activate, giving Sagan Melting Touch to ignore armor. And since the Oni Marauder is defenseless, Sagan will jump into the same space as the Oni Marauder and attack, which will trigger a reaction from the Forgotten Hero. Forgotten Hero at Sagan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, it is more than 10 spaces, so -6 for this, -3 for in combat, -6, -3, -9 in total, 5 or less. This is a hit. And with an 11, Sagan gets another weak point, which is fine. And Sagan is now allowed to attack the Oni Marauder. Stagger because it was only a single wound. Sagan has 2 attack by default. Second wind to get a 3rd attack. 14 or less against the defenseless Oni. 2 17s, 1 2, 1 hit. And 13 is enough to wound, and the burn does nothing, so this is the first wound onto the Oni Marauder, who has a total of 4. Now, Anari casts Melting Touch on Nara, and Nara will activate 1, 2, 3. She can attack the Oni Marauder because this is a 3 space. So next to it, she will attack and trigger another reaction from the Vengeful Forgotten Hero. Forgotten Hero with an 8 misses this time. And Nara has 2 strikes normally, but since she uses her claws and the Oni Marauder is out of activation points, she has 3 attacks. She is engaged with the same creature hostile as Sagan, therefore she gets +3, is at 17 in total. 15, 5, and 12. These are 3 hits. And 14 or less, 12, 9, and 16, 2 wounds. And the burn quality of 14 or less, natural 1 and 9. The Oni Marauder is defeated. Okay. Done. Sagan got a wound. Let's see what the hostiles get. It's a 16, 1 tier 3 hostile. 1, 2, 3. Up to here. And what does the Chaos deck say? Since we are at dust, spawn 2 tier 1 hostile, 1 space. 1 to 10. It's a 3. What was it? 1 space in front of the hero. And once again, 1 to 10. 14, it's the Bone Walker. Both are up here. Okay. Heroes have 2 activation eats, but the Oni Marauder will start. It cannot stay in the same space because it can only move through, so therefore it will run into the same space as Sagan does. And will Sagan react? Yes, Sagan will use this chance to react. Nara will wait until Veteran's Intuition, so until a Foresight can be triggered. Since the Oni Marauder uses a run action, it cannot activate use any other actions. Therefore, Sagan uses 1 in his reactive role, 1 for his Sentinel skill, and 1 for second wind. 14 or less because he has a defense of 14. Natural 1 and 2 20s, which is bad. He rolls a 3, which is 1 wound, and the burn is a 6. These are 2 wounds onto the Oni Marauder. And Nara will also activate and attack. This time she has only 2 strikes because the Oni Marauder still has an activation point left. Since it's the same creature engaged with Sagan. Oh, and whenever you incapacitate a hostile, therefore last time it got an synergy point. But since it's the same creature she's engaged as Sagan is, she will get +3 onto her 14, therefore onto her 12 defense, sorry. Therefore, before Nara activates, Theros is also allowed because Sagan just, where is it here? Hero hits an enemy, perform a free strike 1. Assassination 1, therefore power 19. A 2 is a hit. He is sadly no assassin, but 19 minus armor 3. It's, yeah, a 3 is a wound. With this, the Oni Marauder has 3 wounds. It was free, and the rogue class, I think, can be used. Once per activation, successful agility roll after hit grants knockdown, but since the Oni Marauder is 2 sizes larger than Theros, this is not relevant. But back to Nera, 2 strikes, 1 strike, reactive roll. 1 strike from Nera. Total defense of 15. 5 is enough to hit. 14 or less. I believe she was enchanted. Yeah, she should have been enchanted. 17 is not enough. Okay. Next, Oni Marauder second activation. Who will he hit? Nara or Sagan? It's Sagan, because I said Nara first. Sagan will react by defending himself. Nara will wait what happens, and the Oni Marauder has 2 strikes. Sagan uses Masterful Parry to reduce the Oni Marauder's offense by 3, therefore 11 or less. It's a 7 and a 3 for the Oni Marauder. Sagan needing an 11 or less. 12 and a 4. The 4 cancels out the 3. The 7 of the Oni Marauder cancels out the 4, but the 12 cancels out the 7. Therefore, Sagan wins the confrontation. Nara will not react. Sagan defeats it because of ignoring armor. The burn is enough to destroy it. Therefore, the Oni Marauder is already down. Sagan is out of activations. Nara can save it up, Theros can save it up, and then Neri can save it up. Now, 1, 2, 1, 2. Let's start with the Vengeful Spirit. It will attack Sagan, and Theros. Will Theros activate? Yeah, Theros will activate. So, Vengeful Spirit attacking Sagan. With a 6, it is enough. And 15 is not enough to wound Sagan, but he gets another weak point. I'm so glad of the yeah. And Theros, as I said, activates 2. He attacks. With a natural 20, he fails. Okay. Vengeful Spirit second attack. And wait, before the second activation, Aneri will activate. She will try to cast Ice Spikes. 15, which is not enough because of her Night Terrors, -2, she needs a 14 or less. Now, Vengeful Spirit attacks. Theros activates. Okay, Vengeful Spirit, 19 misses. Theros, 15. Range attack gets -3, therefore he has an 11 or less. Misses. And now the Bone Walker who gets into contact with Sagan. Nara is now allowed to activate because the space is full. But she will wait for this moment. 2 strikes has the Bone Walker. I think I wrote it previously only with 1, but now we do it correctly. So, Bone Walker, 2 attacks at Sagan. Needing 11 or less, and he hits 2 times. 1 time ignoring the armor. Aneri would also activate and attack the Vengeful Spirit once again with Spike. With a 9, this time she successfully, power 11. 16 is not even enough to wound the Vengeful Spirit, but give it a weak point. So, 2 hits at Sagan. The one minus the armor with a natural 20 is not enough, and the one ignoring the armor, 10 or less. 13 is also not enough. And therefore Sagan gets 2 additional weak points, up to 6. Nara, as I said, will activate. Will activate. She will attack the Bone Walker, 15 or less. With a 15 it is enough, because engage with Sagan. 14 or less, 11 is enough to destroy it, and the burn quality is not enough to put it down. So down it goes only. Moved. Here. 1 to 10 it's Sagan. 12 it's Nera. First attack. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. -6 for the range attack, so it's an 8 or less. This time it's a hit. -3 armor. Nara is wounded. And the second attack, 15 is not enough. Okay. With this were the 2 attacks. Now, giving the opponents back their activation points. It's the hero's turn. Here, and here we go. Give me a moment to think about it and save the recording before it corrupts again. And I'll let you join as soon as I have made my decisions. Okay, I think I have the semblance of a plan. Just for you, I really put the wound from Nara back to the pool because she had a leech life onto herself, and since she defeated the Bone Walker, I put it back. This time she will cast it again onto herself, just to stay as healthy as possible. And I'll start with Anari. She will cast Melting Touch onto Sagan and go up to here. Next, Theros tries to cover these two a little bit by throwing a Haste Bomb, -3 for the Necromantic Fog, therefore 11 or less. 17 he fails. Now, Sagan will activate, the Vengeful Spirit will react, and the Forgotten Hero will react, starting with the Forgotten Hero at Sagan. 3 -4 for this, -6, so a total of 4 or less. 16 is not enough, 17, 18, 19, 20, but it's also not in the range of hitting a teammate. Now the confrontation. Sagan has 2 strikes, Vengeful Spirit has 1 strike. Sagan used Masterful Parry to reduce the 8 to the 5 or less. It's an 8. Therefore the Vengeful Spirit misses thanks to Masterful Parry. And Sagan himself, I will reroll it because this was cocked. 9 and a 2. 2 hits because Vengeful Spirit misses. Ignoring armor because of Melting Touch, it's a magical attack. 15 or less, 2 hits. The burn quality causes it to go down. And now I'm unsure because it is a sweeping attack. If it is a coup de grace against the Bone Walker, but I didn't play it so far. Just a thought that I had. I will do not play it this way right now. So it stays where it is. Next, I will activate Sagan, who will try to dodge. 1, 2. Dodge action with a 14 is not good enough, because now this Forgotten Hero will try to shoot again at Sagan. Natural 1, hit ignoring armor. 5, which is a wound onto Sagan, who loses his second, he spent his second activation point, therefore now he's allowed to dodge up to here. And next, Nara will activate. She will also use a dodge. 1, 2, 3. The Forgotten Hero here will activate. Nara dodging, 13 or less. Forgotten Hero with a 17 misses. And now Nara will cast Second Chance onto Sagan. 8 and 17. The 8 is enough to give him a wound back. And now I have to look up if it's only when a hero is incapacitated or has no activation points. Target was incapacitated. Okay, since Sagan wasn't incapacitated, he does not regain any activation points. And Neri will cast Melting Touch onto Nara. Nara's second activation spanned, and Theros will use a walk action to get onto the 2-space square next to Nari, and Sagan will use his Ranger class to get also here. Okay. Undead respawn because of Tormented Souls and of Profane Burner. Now, see what the table says. It's a 9, 2 tier 1 hostiles, 1, 2, 3. They are coming up here. And you're getting 2 activations, you're getting 2 activations, and you're getting 2 activations. Other way around, because these are the active ones. And let's see what the Chaos deck says. Regroup. May spend 1 AP to remove either wound or weak point. I will say thank you, but I will keep my activation points this time around. Let's start with this Vengeful Spirit. Let's see who it is attacking. Sagan on a 1 to 10. It's Nara. Sagan will use his free activation to use his Protector, which allows him to get square off for a strike 1 attack. And since he is in his reactive role, he gets Sentinel for a second one. Vengeful Spirit has 1 attack, and Sagan uses his Masterful Parry to reduce the offense down to 7. The Vengeful Spirit misses. Sagan with a 9 and a 20 miss also. Vengeful Spirit activates again. 1 to 10 it's Sagan. It attacks Sagan, same as previously, 7 or less. 17 is not good enough. Sagan with a 12 and an 18. The 12 hits, 15 or less to wound. No, but since he hit, Theros is allowed to make a sequence assault. 3 is enough to hit. 19 halved is 9.5, rounded up to 10. 7, it is enough, but the Vengeful Spirit only goes down. Next Vengeful Spirit, 1 to 10, it's Sagan. It hits Sagan. Wait a second, I said, okay, I assumed that, okay, let me say that it attacked Nara and Sagan activated there. So this time it attacks and Sagan has to activate himself. Same procedure as previously, only that this time Sagan had to spend an activation point. Sagan hits once. Sagan does not wound. Theros -3, needs an 11 or less, misses. 1 to 10 it's Sagan. Sagan again, therefore Sagan has activated second time. The Vengeful Spirit with an 8 misses thanks to Masterful Parry, and Sagan misses with 2 18s. So, since incapacitated, it is staying there. 1, 2, the Bone Walker is unable to get into contact. 1, 2, 1, 2, this Bone Walker slow but steadily comes closer. And here it has now 1, 2, uses a walk or a run. Walk stops if enemy in line of sight. Here, I'm glad that I'm recording with a tablet, therefore I have a straight line on my camera and it is not showing. Here, as you can see, now it's line. So basically it has to stay here. 1, 2, 1, 2. Walking up to here. Getting closer and closer. Hopefully I can breach the siege. But let's see what now my hero's turn is and says. Oh, Nara could have activated 2. Yeah, I will do that. Nara, 1 strike at the Vengeful Spirit. Hits 5 wounds and the burn destroys it. And with it, this Bone Walker could have walked 1, 2 and then 1 attack once again. 1 to 10 it's Sagan, it's Nara. Nara will defend. Bone Walker has 15 and 13, both are misses. Since the Bone Walker is engaged with Sagan, Nara has a total defense of 15 and misses 2. Okay, here we go. This looks a little bit different now. Okay, starting with Nara, who will cast Soul Leech onto herself to get mana points. And Nari activates first 2 times. Both of my front heroes have now Melting Touch. Starting with Nara attacking the Bone Walker, who defends itself. Bone Walker has no friendly undead who's not incapacitated next to it, therefore a 4 is still enough. Nara total of 17 or less, 9 and 14, 2 hits, 14 or less, 20 and 12. The 20 is enough. Now the burn with a 3 is enough. Therefore it is destroyed. 2 wounds were caused. Therefore Nara gets 2 mana points. And Nara activated, and Nari activated. This is a cue for Theros, who will activate. He will interact superior loot token. So exchanging this one for the superior loot token. And I receive Fate E. Here it is. And 122. As we pursue through them. Oh, sorry. Yeah, okay. 2 random 1 next to. So I can only place 1 Bone Walker or Skeleton. Bone Walker or Ghost. Bone Walker was first, so the Ghost comes here. And yeah, come on. It's a 2 space only. You go up to here. Okay. With this, I will spend an activation from Sagan to do a coup de grace against the... Sagan will attack. Okay, keep it simple. Sagan will attack. The Vengeful Spirit will defend. Sagan will reduce its attack, its defense to 5 or less. 5 is just enough. And Sagan 7 and natural 1, both are enough to hit it. Both ignore the armor. 9 and 6 and 4 is enough, and the burn 1/6 is enough to destroy it immediately. Burn it to crisp. And now the heroes will stay where they are because this one has to walk to spaces, 1, 2, and then 1 to get a line of sight. Let me just double check it once again. Looking here at the upside, putting it into line more or less. Here it has to go up to here. So 1, 2, 3, 4 up here, and then it can attack. So the heroes could get 1 turn out of it. Now it casts Second Chance on Sagan. 5 is enough, and the 14 is not, but it is enough to give Sagan another wound back. And with this, I think that my heroes will stay where they are. Okay, only if I interact with the superior loot token. Yeah, good, as Theros did it, not replace, place 1 up there, and if I react, okay, I did that. Okay. Has preserve, receive Fate E. Okay, yeah, because of the Fate, I wanted to do that. Okay. Yeah, I will say that's enough for the hero's turn. So, turning it around, both of my melee fighters are enchanted. Nara has leech mana onto herself. This one respawns, getting 2 activation points. Here we are. You get 2 activation points. Come on. 15. 1 tier 2. 1, 2, 3, up to here. Okay. Excuse me. This hostile will activate 1 to 10. It attacks Sagan. It attacks Sagan, therefore Sagan has to activate. Same procedure as previously. 7 or less, it's enough to hit. 15 is not, and the 4 loses against the 5 of the Vengeful Spirit. Okay, sorry, I put enough down to get this, and I plan to put this on Sagan to give him more offense instead of Tunera as I did previously, because I think the 17 is better. And with this, the 15 would be enough to hit the ghost, and a 2 is enough to wound it because magic, and the burn is enough to destroy it. Sorry. Here there were enough to put 2 synergy points in total at the card, and Sagan now enchanted, because he's basically always enchanted from Manari. He now has 17/17, which is huge. Now, this Bone Worker gets into contact, 1 to 10 at Sagan. It attacks Sagan. Sagan will activate, reducing its offense from 11 down to 8. Sagan will attack 17 or less. Yeah, 16 beats the 4, and the 19 is a loss. 1 hit. 15 or less. Yeah, burn. 17 is not enough. Yeah, Theros. Attack doesn't matter in this case. 1, 2, 1, 2. Now, this one, 1 to 10 Sagan. Hit Sagan. Attack Sagan. Hits Sagan with a 10. Yeah, with a 10 hits. And with a natural 1, it wounds Sagan. 1 to 10 Sagan. Attacks Sagan. 2, it hits Sagan. And with a 9, it does not wound Sagan, therefore he gets another weak point. No, at 7. This one, 1, 2, 1, 2. And now, up here, it is finally allowed once again to attack the heroes, because as we can see... sorry. It could see this space, but not the heroes here. For that, it has to be closer. So, this was the hostile turn. And let me just turn around my heroes here. Let me have a look at targetless, what it does. Maybe Theros doesn't have to hit in 11 or less to throw the haste bomb. And I'll join you afterwards. I have no idea if it will work, but we will see. Noah starts by casting Undead Sight onto herself to get advantage against Undead, which are the only creatures currently here. And then Theros will start activating. I read up, targetless still requires a hit roll, so 11 or less. Theros, you're not good at this. Nara will try to dodge. 1, 2, 3. Will trigger a reaction from this and from this one, so these two. Nara trying to dodge. 15, not good enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, both of these hitting at 14 or less. Both of these roll a 2. And 5 and 8, both of these armor 3, 10 or less. Both of these put Nara down. That was devastating, to say the least. Now, Anari will cast Melting Touch onto Sagan. Go up to here, triggering activation from this one. And 19 is not enough to hit. At least something. Now, 1, 2, Sagan will activate. He will dodge. 1, 2, 3 up to here. Activation from this one. 3 is enough to hit, and Sagan with a 20 fails to dodge. and a 10 is not enough to wound Sagan, giving him only another weak point. But since he was hit, he loses his second activation. Anari's second activation, she will cast Melting Touch onto Theros, triggering activation from this one, who still has no line of sight. Okay, and Theros will walk up to here, attack the Forgotten Hero, once again needing an 11 or less to hit. 15. Okay, enchanted. Undead Rising, activation points, and a 5 is 1 tier 1 hostile, 3 spaces, 1, 2, 3. At least it's something. This one, 1 to 10, it attacks Theros. It attacks Anari. Anari has -2 basically on everything. She will wait with her foresight. But Theros will activate. He will try to attack the creature with his sword, because he has an offense of 13. So, the hostile attacking Anari, 11 or less, these are 2 hits, 4 and 5, no critical hit, and 5 is a wound, 15 is not. Anari will try to dodge at a 10 or less. With a 6, Anari is good, and she dodges, going here. Now Theros is allowed to attack. He has Melting Touch onto himself, and he fails with a 17. The Bone Walker activates again, attacking Theros a second time, 1, 2, 3, still within 3 spaces, so it has 11. Theros activates, defending himself. Natural 1 and a 19, and Theros rolls a 3. The natural 1 beats it out. Theros loses, and with a 7, Theros is wounded. Luckily, he now has 2 wounds. Next is this one, 1, 2. It will attack Sagan. Sagan will react by attacking himself. Because of 3, this one will be affected by 2, but in an active roll will not react. So, Sagan 1. Second, because of Sentinel, 2 attacks has the Bone Walker, and Sagan will reduce the offense of the Bone Walker, because 1, 2, 3, it gets +2. 12, -3, it needs a 9 or less. 2 15s, therefore it misses. Sagan, because he's enchanted, 17 or less. 13 and 7, these are 2 hits. 2 strikes at the skeleton. 16 and 18 is not enough. 2 hits at the Forgotten Hero. 11 and 9, the 11 is enough to put a wound on it. And the burn with a 10 is enough to put it down, because of the second wound. And since Sagan hit the undead, Theros is allowed to attack it, but he is engaged, he is not allowed to make a range attack. So close, and yet so far. Now, the Bone Water activates again. Sagan reacts. Same procedure as previously. But this time it's only 11 -3, so 8 was needed. 18 and 11. Sagan, 17 or less, 2 hits. 15 or less, the 11 is enough. Burn, 18 does nothing. It goes down. 1, 2, 3, 4. It gets into contact with Sagan before it attacks. 17 is not enough to hit Sagan. This one has clear line of sight at Sagan, will shoot 2 times. Critical hit and a 10 is enough to hit. Critical hit, wounds, and the other one 13 minus 6, therefore 7 or less. 1 wound and a weak point on Sagan. Already 9 weak points. Maybe I should put a d20 or some other die next to Sagan to count his weak points. And I totally forgot the Chaos card. Choose a hostile with the highest tier on the field. Each hero must make a moral roll, -3. Okay, it's only 2. First of all, okay, they couldn't have any chance to walk back, so I will keep it where it is. With this was the hostile's turn. Back to the activation points here. And here. And here. No, sorry. Here and here. It's the reactive roll. And let's start with Anari. She will enchant Theros with Melting Touch. Theros, yeah, 1 there. Then Theros will activate. Theros will attack the Bone Walker, which will defend itself. So the Bone Walker has 1 attack, 1 strike because of its defense roll. And Theros has 2 strikes, but since it's his active roll, and when he's not crouched, he should stay not crouched as per Discord, and he's in the same space, so 3 attacks for Theros. The Bone Walker with a 10, 1, 2, 3, it needs an 11, defense of 11 in total, has a great roll. Theros, 13 or less, rolls a 7, 19 and 20, fails this confrontation. With a 15 he gets a weak point. Theros is disappointing. He will try again. Cause what else can he do? Oh, and in his strategic phase he would have used the medicine to himself. Hopefully a little bit better. A critical hit from Theros. So these are 3 hits. Critical hit with a 1. A 3 and a 7. And natural 1, 3 and 16. Therefore 2 wounds because he has a power of 11. Oh, sorry. And the burn, 11 or less. 2 is enough to destroy this Bone Walker. 2 activations and only 1 dead Bone Walker, or final dead. Anari goes up to here, casts Melting Touch onto Sagan, and retreats immediately back into her corner because of Arcane Step. Sagan, now buffed, attacks the Forgotten Spirit, who attacks in return. Sagan lowers its defense by 3, from 8 down to 5. 17 because he's boosted. 1 hit, 20 and a 15. A 12 is enough to wound it, and a 14 is enough to destroy it. Nevertheless, it triggers an activation from the Forgotten Hero. With an 11, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Minus 14, minus 4 because it was a melee. It is not enough to hit Sagan because it had needed a 10 or less. And now 1, 2, dodge. Will I try to do that? Sagan stays where he is and hopes for the best. So Sagan is boosted. Let's see what comes up. First of all, you're standing up. And it rolls a 7, 2 tier 1. 1 to 10 it's the Bone Walker. No, 1 to 10 is the Bone Walker. Yes, Bone Walker and Vengeful Spirit. 2, 3. And here they are. So, Chaos card. The highest tier gains 1 extra AP. So, you have 3. 1 to 10, one of these 2 activates. 1 to 5, 6 to 10, 11 to 15. Reroll, 1 to 15. This one activates first, attacking Sagan. Sagan activates, defending himself, reducing its offense by 3, plus 2 for this, total -1. So it has a total of 9 or less. 13 and 15. These are 2 misses. Sagan himself, 17 or less. 16 and 7, 2 hits. 2 wounds with a 1 and a 4, and the burn 11 is enough to destroy it. Now 1 to 10, the Vengeful Spirit. It's a 9. 1, 2, 3. It goes up to here. Sagan will wait with his activation. Theros will try to shoot it. Assassination, so 11 or less. With a 3 he hits, since he has also Mating Touch onto himself, 19 or less. 17 is enough, and 15 is enough to burn the Vengeful Spirit. When he hits with Melting Touch, it's really great. Now this guy, 1, 2, and 1, 2 get in confrontation with... after its first activation, Theros will react. Try to shoot it again. 11 or less. With a 2 he hits. 17, thanks for Assassination 1, boosts his Slinging Crossbow to 19. Burn 20 is not enough to destroy it. But this gives Sagan enough to at least try and dodge the first activation. A 6 is a hit. Sagan trying to dodge. A 3 he successfully dodges. And he dodges 1 space forward. Yeah. 2 other attacks. 2 and 12 both hit, especially since he is stationary and gets +4 to hit. 13 and 17 is not enough, and Sagan gets 2 additional weak points. That was the hostile's turn. It was okay, I would say. Let's turn this around. Nara is still down. Theros gets 2 activation. It might be good. I will have a thought about this, what I will do, and I'll let you join as soon as I have some strategy. Okay, starting with Theros. Let's see if he can throw a haste bomb at this space. 16 he fails. Next, Theros tries to dodge. 1, 2, 3, he fails. Trigger and reaction. 17 is not enough because it's reactive roll. At least something. Aneri goes here, casts her 2 spells at Theros and at Sagan. Afterwards she goes back here. And Sagan stays where he is to protect Theros, and therefore gives Theros a chance to revive Nara. Now, hostiles. It's a 19, 1 TO, great. No, absolutely not. 1, 2, 3. Here it is. So, you're getting 2. You getting 2, and the skeleton gets 2. And Chaos card. Draw and look up the 2 Chaos and choose to return 1 to the bottom of the deck and put the other card. So what we have, Dense Haze and Reckless Abandon. Okay, I will use Dense Haze. And Reckless Abandon comes down. So we have now a hazy environment, which is great because attacks with reach now have -3. That was exactly what I wanted to try to do with Theros. And Theros is allowed to ignore that, which might save the butt here. Okay. Onimarad activates 1, 2, cannot walk into this space because of space reasons, but it has still reach, and therefore it will attack Sagan. Theros will activate. he will try to chuck Soporific Grenade onto the Oni Marauder. And wait, through from outside. No range attack through from outside. Okay, basically here would be haste reach, so it cannot see. Okay, that totally shuts down ranged attacks except for Theros. At least that's how I understand it. But that's a completely different matter right now. Sagan is attacked. And Sagan will try to dodge. Will he dodge? The Oni Marauder is already at -3 because of... no... Yeah, he has to add... -3. Yeah, Sagan is not in reach because he has no reach weapon. I might have to change that in the next game. But for this moment, Sagan has to dodge. Sagan dodges. 11 or less. 17. Oni Marauder 11 or less. 10 and 12. The 12 misses. The 10 with a 9 is enough to put a third wound onto Sagan, who's now down. The Oni Marauder walks into the space as the skeleton. Attacks again. Theros tries to dodge. Yeah, Soporific Grenade. I was thinking why has Theros already activated. Oni Marauder would hit 2 times. Theros with a 15 fails to dodge. And the 2 is a wound, but the 18 isn't. So 1 wound and 1 weak point. And now it's the Bone Walker's turn to attack Theros. First, 14-7 is a hit. 16 fails to wound, puts a third weak point. And the second activation, 2 natural 20s are misses. And since this one is unable to see, 1-2, 1-2. Okay, at the brink of their chances, down here we are. Theros gets activation points. And I think when I revive Nara, she would activate here, but the Oni Marauder would also activate. Okay, Theros has to use his medicine to revive Sagan, so that Sagan gets 2 activation points. Now, Anari 1-2 has to use a run action to get closer. Or can she do anything useful? This is on another hero. Okay, she has to run. After the running, she can do the Melting Touch onto Sagan with her second activation. And go 1 space back, just in case. Sagan can activate. He can target the Bone Walker. He can target the Oni Marauder. Because the Oni Marauder has a weapon with reach, it gets -3. Sagan didn't get it because that would be quite unfair. Therefore, I will rule that in this case, the Oni Marauder will not get any -3 because of the haze. And in its reactive role, if target of an attack outside of 1 inch or no line of sight, line of sight enemy within 1 inch, so it will attack one way or another. Therefore, Sagan will attack the Oni Marauder, the Bone Walker, target of attack, line of sight enemy within. Okay, it will also make a melee attack. Yeah, Sagan will attack the Oni Marauder. And he is boosted, so 17. He will be so brave and use second wind for a third attack. Oni Marauder, 10 or less, natural 20. Sagan, 17 or less, 9 7 and an 8. 3 hits. 15 or less to wound. 5, 8. Come on. I hope you can see it. 8 and a 10. 3 wounds. The burn. 6, 8, and 9. The Oni Marauder is instantly immolated. The skeleton 3 strikes at it. 11, 10, and 7. Oh, it was also a hit and therefore 3 times wounded. 14, 13, and a 20. It is also down, but before that it will also attack Sagan with 1 attack. With a 16 it misses, but it is also immolated. Okay. That was great. Now, Neri is done. Sagan has 1, 2, 1, 2. Will Theros do anything? He stays where he is because he has to help Nera next turn. Yeah. But Theros is able to ignore the hazy condition, so he can attack the Forgotten Hero. And since the Forgotten Hero has no line of sight, it will dodge. But since it has no line of sight, it will halve its agility. Therefore Theros, and it didn't trigger any reaction because it can't see anything. Theros trying to attack with an 11 or less. 17, and another attack. 4 is enough. 7, 19 minus 6 is even enough to put a wound onto it, and it dodged 2 times. 1, 2. So, it got a wound. But sadly, Theros had no Melting Touch, therefore that's all it can do. Now, what does the table say? 18. Another Oni Marauder. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I will just put him up here. 1 space at the top. Chaos Deck says Hateful Fortitude. Highest tier, remove all states. Okay. They have no states, therefore this is how it is. 1, 2, and it has to run to go to Sagan. 1, 2, 3, 4. It will go up to here, I will rule, because I never counted so far incapacitated models. And with this, Sagan is able to activate. He will attack with his Melting Touch. Still active, therefore 3 attacks, 17 or less. 1, 18, 6 and 5 are hits, 15 or less. 2 wounds, and the burn is a 3rd wound. And since he was hit, Theros is allowed to attack. 17 is not enough to hit. Now, Oni Marauder's 2nd activation. 1 to 10 Sagan. It will attack Sagan. Sagan 2 attacks, Oni Marauder 2 attacks. Sagan will reduce the Oni Marauder's offense by 3, therefore 11 or less. 7 and 14. The 7 is a hit. Sagan 17 or less. 14 and 2. The 14 wins this confrontation. 15 or less. It's a 17, but since he hit, Theros is allowed to make an attack with a sword and fails. This one, 1, 2, is now in reach. Is allowed to attack with a close combat attack. 1 to 10 Sagan. It's Theros. Theros has a defense of 8, therefore he will try to dodge. 2 attacks with a corroded sword. 14 and 18. The 14 is a hit. Theros with an 18 fails to dodge. It's a 10. It has a power of 13, minus 2 for the sword, 11 minus the armor of 2. It's a 9, therefore this is only a weak point. And Theros is allowed to dodge. He has to stay where he is. And with a 16, it's a 2nd attack. Theros will activate again and try to dodge. 2 attacks, 2 hits. Theros dodges with a 10 and stays where he is. Okay. With all this said and done and whatever, I will just save the recording because now I will get Nara back. Okay. It starts in the strategic phase with Theros using his medicine on Nara to give her a hit point back. Then Nara will cast onto herself the Leech Life spell to have a chance to get life points back. And Nari will walk one space up in the activation phase. Will stay. I'm thinking about because enemy within 1 inch. Here is no line of sight. Okay, I totally forgot that there is no line of sight and he has within reach. Sagan is currently not buffed, but Nara is. This might be quite devastating because of the Oni Marauder. Yeah. Nara has the higher offense currently. Therefore, Nara will attack the Oni Marauder. The Oni Marauder will try to defend. Defense 10. 12 it failed. Nara with 17 or less. 2 hits. Power of 14. Minus the armor of 4. Therefore 10 or less. 7 and a 9. These are 2 wounds, which is enough to give Nara her second wound back. The Oni Marauder goes down, and this one is still allowed to use an action to attack Nara. Minus 4 for, okay, critical hit. And with a 12, power of 13, minus armor 3, it is only a weak point. I will use this one as weak tokens currently. Okay, now Nara goes for. Nara goes for 2 times, enchanting Sagan and Nara. Still, because of heavy, no range attack through from outside, which is here the case, because he is no through. And now, since Sagan is buffed, or enchanted, Sagan will move right next to the wounded Forgotten Hero and will attack it. The Forgotten Hero will of course react by attacking itself. Sagan has 2 strikes by default, the Forgotten Hero only 1 because of its reactive role. Defense 14, Sagan will use Masterful Parry to further reduce its chance. With a 6 it still hits, Sagan 17 or less. It's a 10 and a 9, both beat the 6 of the Forgotten Hero. 15 or less, 16 and 19, nothing. And Sagan will activate a second time, again reducing the Forgotten Hero's attacks, defense by 3. So with a 17 it fell, Sagan 17 or less. Natural 1 and 16, thanks to him being Bolster Progress and is enchanted by a Nari, both hit. Matching touch, ignoring armor, both at the same time. Both are hit, and 10 and 16 is enough to burn this Forgotten Hero also down. So far, this seems to be my best shot at this pass. So, now, Nara tries to cast Second Chance onto Sagan. 9 is enough, the 16 isn't, therefore he regains 1 hit point. And with this, I will use the Ranger class ability from Sagan to Theros goes 1 space back, and Sagan goes 1 space back with his Ranger class. Okay. Let's turn all this around. Yeah, all reactive. I have to shuffle the deck, and as soon as I did that, for this time, the field is cleared of hostiles. So, I will reshuffle that, and we go right into, wait, I can do that right now. 11, 1 tier 2 hostile. 1, 2, 3. Here it is. So, let's see what happens to it. With a new Forgotten Hero spawned, and the chaos deck says tier 1 hostiles gain sweep 1. Okay, we have now tier 1, we have only this tier 2. And it walks 1, 2, has line of sight of these two. Theros will activate. He will attack with a Thanian crossbow. And the creature 1 to 10 at Sagan will shoot at Nara. Nara will wait with her reaction. Sagan will use a dodge to get into the same space. So let's see what the shooting attack at Nara is. With a 9 it is a hit. And a 16 will be a weak point. She will try to dodge it. With a 16 she fails but gets also in contact with it. And she gets another weak point. And Theros, with a 6 he is able to hit. He do not has the Waiting Touch enchantment, therefore it is only a wound onto it. And now, the Forgotten Hero in close combat, 1 to 10 it's Nara. He will attack Nara. Sagan will use his Protector skill for free. Activated. For free activation from Sagan, Nara will use her claws in an attack. Theros will not react. Okay. Sagan, 1 attack and Protector 2. And he will reduce the offense of the Forgotten Hero to 11. It's a 9 and a 15. Therefore the 15 misses. Sagan 17 or less. 17 and a 4. The 4 is cancelled by the 9. The 17 hits. 15 or less. 5 ruins it. And 10 burns it to the ground. Okay, this so far goes great. Now, getting up. These two are getting up. And Sagan gets his activation. Let's start with Anari. Nara casts onto herself the Death Sight, just to get a little bit more advantage. Theros uses medicine onto himself in the strategic phase. Now, Anari 1, 2, boosts Sagan. Then Theros 1, 2, 3. Sagan 1, 2. Nara 1, 2, 3. And Nari 1, 2 boosts Nara. Goes up to here. So you activated 2 times, you activated once, you activated once, and you activated once. Both of these are boosted. Theros 1, 2, 3 next to Anari. Nara goes up to here. With her 2 and her first activation, she would try to cast Necrotic Wounds onto herself. Only 1 die. 16 failed. And the second, she will try to cast Necrotic Wounds onto herself. 6, yes. Okay. And then Sagan 1, 2. 1 goes here. Ranger class 1, 2 goes there. Yeah. Okay. What does the table say? 15, 1 to 2 is spawned, what was it? 3 spaces north of the first hero. 1, 2, 3 up to here. Let's use the melee model because it is so close in the, because of the dense haze. Before that, I have to shuffle the deck and I'll let you join as soon as we know what will happen here. But before that, let me just turn around the activation tokens to see who's in the active row. Next to reshuffling the chaos deck, I also put down some dice here. A 1, 11, 4 and 2, and exchanged it for all the weak points. So I will use these dice from the starter set, from the first Kickstarter of Eldfall Chronicles, to count up the weak points, so that I can use these weak point tokens for the hostiles. Chaos deck says heavy snow, dense and hazy, so this cancels out the dense. Now we have no protection from the freezing winds. Okay, and I just noticed that I forgot to put down the encounter 2 on 2, which is here. basically where this one stands. And with this, it is now allowed to shoot again. 1 to 10, it will target Sagan. And this will trigger an attack from Theros. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, an attack from Theros, who will throw his haste bomb. Sagan, who will try to dodge, and Nara, who will try to dodge, and Anari will wait. So, shooting attack at Sagan first. 17, since he stood idle, it will hit Sagan, unless he manages to dodge. Within 16 he fails. Therefore he loses his second activation. Because of stagger, is he wounded? With a 12 he's not wounded, and he gets his 12th weak point. The Hanya is paying off. Theros, needing an 11 or less because of the mist. 13 fails to do so, but Nara is also allowed to dodge 1 and 2. Now the Forgotten Hero will activate, targeting the closest. It will be Nara. Nara once again will try to dodge. Theros will try to shoot with his Thenian crossbow. Sorry, they are now in their active role as soon as this attack is resolved. So, starting with the Forgotten Hero, this is cocked. 2 is a hit. Nara agility of 13. With a 2 manages to dodge and is now in the same space, triggering encounter 2. I will resolve it in a moment. Theros attacking with Thenian crossbow. 20 misses. Encounter 2. 7 becomes an exit, which is just here. And on 5, 6, and 8. 5, 6, and I will just use the superior loot token up here because I didn't looted that one. Okay, so these 3 are common loot tokens. And now, Nara dodged. That was the effect. This is all placed. Exit there. It's the hero's turn. Let me just put around Anari. Nara will cast Spectral Sight onto herself. And I'll start with Anari. 1, 2, enchanting Sagan. Let's start with this. Intrigue token can be put aside. 1, enchanting Nara. The Forgotten Hero cannot activate use a range attack because it is engaged. And then let's go with Sagan first. 1, 2, attacking the Forgotten Hero. Forgotten Hero defends itself. Sagan will use Masterful Parry to reduce its defense to 11. It's a 16, which fails Sagan because he is enchanted. 17 or less. Natural 1 and 12, 2 hits. 15 or less to wound. 9 and 5, 2 wounds. And the burn quality destroys it. Luckily I have this burn quality, otherwise all the undead would respawn constantly because of Tormented Souls and of the Profane Burner rule here. Okay, that was Sagan's activation. And Nari also activated 2 times. Now Nara will go here and use her activation to loot this token because she currently has enough spaces or slots to do so. It's a common loot token. With a 7 she will get a buckler and a short sword. Let me just look it up once I turned around Nara's activation, and I'll let you join afterwards. I said once, I will say it again, this is a complex game. I noticed that the buckler gives -2 attack modifier to incoming melee attacks, and that reminded me, hey wait, shields. A Bonewalker has a shield, -3 to incoming attacks in the front, and +3 armor against range attack in the front. I hope that I will do the Bonewalker a little bit more justice by remembering it the next time. Okay. But with all this done, I think the old cemetery was more interesting for me, because in our last mission we had an ominous reading when we went into the hidden chamber, I think. Yeah, we went successfully in the hidden chamber. It was 1-1. It was a long text, and at the cemetery were rituals or undead, and in the Iji village were the leader. So I first want to explore the old cemetery and hope to prevent further spawning or anything like that. Therefore, I will use this exit. And with this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, Theros activates, goes up to here. Oh, sorry, no, he will stay here because Anari is slower. And Nara will go up to here and cast Second Chance on Sagan. 17 and 8 is not good enough. Therefore, he is not healed. Sagan will stay where he is. Let's turn all this around. And the hostile spawning table is a 1. 1 tier 1 hostile. 1 to 10, it's a Bone Walker. It's a Bone Walker, come on. 1, 2, 3. Let's do you guys justice. Spawn a tier 3 hostile 2 spaces away from the lowest number encounter on the field towards the entrance. If no entrance are on the field, spawn the hero behind the last one. Okay, it's Dire Ambush, 2 spaces from the lowest number encounter. Here is no encounter. If no encounter are on the field, spawn the hostile 1 space behind the last hero. 1 space behind the last hero. And it immediately activates by attacking. And Neri will wait. Theros, on the other hand, is engaged. She can only dodge. This is a 2 space. So 2 space, 4 space. Yeah. And let's see. 1 to 10. It attacks Aneri. It attacks Theros. Theros will try to dodge. Aneri will wait. Never will wait. Yeah. And we have a 20 and a 7. And Theros, with a 6, successfully dodges. Now is the question, where to? Because this is a 2 space slot, therefore it is already occupied. Theros will dodge in the same space. Nera will use Foresight to activate and dodge also into the same space, and Anari will dodge and Anari will dodge out of the way. So activated. Now the Oni Marauder 1 to 10 Theros. It will once again attack Theros. Nera will wait. Theros will dodge. Oni Marauder 4 and 10. These are 2 hits. Theros with a 17 fails, so therefore Nera will also try to dodge. Nera with a 16 also fails. The Oni Marauder hits both 2 times. Theros 3 and 15, power of 19, minus armor 2, therefore Theros is down. Nera armor 3, power 19, 16 or less. 2 11s, both are down. Luckily Theros has medicine, can respawn next time. The Ended Walker 1, 2 gets healed, can attack. Sagan is 1 to 10. Sagan is hit. Sagan will reduce the offense of the Bone Walker by 3. And incoming melee attacks in the front. Therefore, Sagan's boost of 3 is reduced to 14. And the Bone Walker itself needs -3 and 7 or less. It's a 3 and a 15. Sagan needs a 14 or less. 3 is enough. So both hit each other with 3. Bone Walker on Sagan. 15 is not enough. Sagan goes from 12 up to 13 weak points. 15 or less for the Bone Walker. It is down and it is destroyed exactly. Okay. So, Nara's down, which is not good. And let's start with Theros, giving himself back 1 hit point with medicine. And now next hero, and hero. Area effect is arranged the soporific grenade I was just looking at, so let's go with Anari going here, enchanting Sagan. Up 1 with Melting Touch. Now Anari casts Ice Spikes onto the Oni Marauder, risking hitting herself. Will add a net 20 and a total of -2, so 14 or less. Critical hit and hitting herself once. Casting spells as range attack, the caster suffers the attack on a roll of 20. Hitting herself, it is a power of 11, -3, 8 or less. She puts herself down. The Oni Marauder with the 11 is definitely wounded. It dodges towards her, and the 9 is successfully dodged. She has the Mage class, and the Mage class spent unspent AP to reroll any die when casting a spell. But she activated previously to enchant Sagan, so she cannot reroll, and with this she put herself down. The Oni Marauder dodged 1 time by itself. Now Theros Sagan will activate. Sagan will go into the same space as the Oni Marauder. And by doing so, he will attack the Oni Marauder. This was tier 3. Oh, I forgot the Chaos card. Did I? No, okay, I think it's the hero's turn, no Chaos card. So it's Sagan's turn. Sagan attacks the Oni Marauder. Sagan has 2 strikes, Oni Marauder has 1. Sagan 17 against 10. Sagan will keep his 2 strikes, reducing the offense to 7. It's a 4. 2 and 16. The 16, thankfully he's boosted, wins. 15 is enough to wound and the burn. 11 puts 2 additional wounds onto the Oni Marauder, leaving it at 1. And Theros is allowed to shoot because Sagan hit it. Thanian crossbow +3 -3, so 14 in total. And I forgot the +3 this game. 5 is enough to wound it, therefore the Oni Marauder is put down by Theros. I will just put it aside because only undead respawn. Okay, here we are. That was the hero's turn. Yeah. Turning it around. With this, wait a second, hero's turn, and yeah, Theros had the chance to use medicine on Nara. I totally got that. Or did he have to use it on anyone else? Let me think. Oni Marauder stood there. Nara was already down because she failed to dodge. So Theros was fine doing that. Nara has still 2 activation points left. And Nara will use that first to cast second chance onto herself. 5 and a 4. Nara is fine, and she will use her next second chance onto Anari with a 3 and a 20. The 3 is enough to get Anari up. Sagan will use his ranger to get into the same space as Anari. What will the hostile table spawn? It's a 9, which is 2 tier 1. 1 to 10 Vengeful Spirit, 1 to 10 Vengeful Spirit, 2 Vengeful Spirits will spawn. 1, 2, 3, up to here. But wasn't there a rule with the bridge? Hanging bridge? If the heroes return, okay, quest. Okay, now the hanging bridge, there's no special rule about it. So both can spawn here. Freezing Winds. Freezing Wind, I knew it had to happen. Vengeful Spirit 1. Aneri or Sagan, 1 to 10 Sagan. Okay, Aneri, Sagan activates using his Protector skill. Nara is not engaged, therefore he can do it without much cost or additional cost. Reducing the Vengeful Spirit's offense. 12 is no hit, 17 or less. 2 9s, 2 hits, 15 or less. 2 9s, 2 wounds, and okay, with a burn it is also destroyed. The next Vengeful Spirit, 1 to 10 Aneri. Yeah, it is Aneri. Sagan activates a second time. Same procedure as earlier, 17 or less for Sagan, and 13 is a miss on the Vengeful Spirit's part. Natural 1 and 7 wound, and 8 and 11 is enough to burn this Vengeful Spirit. Freezing Winds. Let's see, Aneri 11 or less, 18. She's down. Is she wounded? With a 9, she is wounded. Sagan, 17, total of 19 is fine. Theros, 1 is fine. Nara, 4 is fine. Now cast second sight onto herself. 1, 2, 3. Second chance onto Aneri. It's a 9 and an 11, which is enough to get Aneri up. Give her an activation point. She will use it to 1, 2. Cast Maiden Touch on Sagan. Walk a third space. Theros, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sagan, 1, 2, 3. Sagan is enchanted, Nara isn't. Second activation for Nara, she goes at the same space as Theros, and she will cast Leech Life onto herself. Leech Life onto herself. And Leech Life has 1 die. 11 is good enough. Enchanted 2, but by herself. With this, let's see what the hostiles have to say. It's an 8, which is 2 tier 1s. 1 to 10 Vengeful Spirit. And 1 to 10 Vengeful Spirit. 1 Bone Walker, 1 Vengeful Spirit. 1, 2, 3. Here they are. Which one will activate first? 1 to 10 Vengeful Spirit. Bone Walker. 1, 2. It cannot activate because of the hero of the space requirement. And yeah, Aneri is fatigued, therefore she does not regain any activation points. With this, will Theros activate? No. Vengeful Spirit for Bone Walker. No. 1 to 10 Sagan. Attacks Sagan. Sagan reduces its offense. So with a 2, it will still hit. Sagan gets -3 plus 3 because he's enchanted, 14 or less. 16 and 20, not enough, he loses the confrontation. And with a 3, he gets a wound. Second activation, once again, 1 to 10, it's Sagan. It will attack Nara. He will spend his activation point to Aneri, not Nara, to use his Protector skill. Yep. Will he? Yes, he will. So, wait, no, he will not use it. Because if Nara gets down, Nara can use second chance and she does not have to roll. So, 2 strikes on Neri. 11 hits, 14 doesn't. Armor 3, power 10, so therefore 7 or less. It's only a weak point. So where is the 2? 20, yeah, the 2. And now 1, 2, 3 gets into the same space. And Sagan will activate because of the special activation of the Vengeful Spirit. He will use second wind for another attack, boosted for a total of 17. 3 hits, 15 or less, 3 wounds, and the burn destroys it with 1 and a 7. So, next turn. Let's see who is allowed to activate. Anari, 11 or less. No. Is she down? With an 18, no. But she cannot activate. Sagan is fine. Theros, 15. Toughness 11, armor 12. He also has no activation this turn, but can use his medicine to at least heal himself, because strategic phase. And Nara, with a 15, is just fine. Oh, and also is Theros wounded? 15, no, he's not wounded. Okay. Nara and Sagan. No burn quality. Nara will cast, as an artificial, will cast Leech Life onto herself. And she will... makes no difference. Sagan will activate first. He will attack the Bone Walker, reducing the Bone Walker's offense by 3 down to a 7. Sagan is currently not boosted, therefore only 2 strikes. At 14 or less, it's a 2. Bone Walker misses with a 3, with a 13. The 17 is a miss on Sagan's part. 15 minus armor of 2. Therefore, it will be 13 or less. 15 is not enough. Now Sagan will try the same, but better. Bone Walker with a 4 is able to hit. 14 or less. 13 and 20 minus 3 because of the shield. Sagan fails this confrontation. With a 12, he gets another weak point up to 14. Sagan is out of activation. Nara will activate 1, 2, attacking the skeleton, which is out of activation points. So, same space as Sagan, 1 critical hit, 11 and 13 hits. Not ignoring armor. The 7 is enough, and the critical hit with an 18 is not enough. The 7 puts down the Bone Walker. 1, 2 back, because of hit and retreat. And she will cast Second Wind onto Sagan. The 7 is enough to restore 1 hit point to Sagan. So, Hostile's turn. This one gets up. 2 activation points. Reactive roll. You two are still fatigued because of freezing winds. Hostiles is a 5, which is 1 tier 1 hostile. 1 to 10 another Bone Walker. Another Bone Walker, 1, 2, 3. Now, which one will start? 1 to 10, the one already in contact. Yeah. It will... 1 to 10, it's Nari. It will attack a Nari. Therefore, Sagan will activate using Protector. And the Bone Walker, he will reduce the hostile. I totally forgot that he also has knockback. So, the Bone Walker, total 11 because of the buff, minus 3, 8 or less. 9 and 8, 1 hit. Sagan, not boosted, therefore 11 or less. 13 and 17 losers. With a natural 1, he is wounded. Excuse me. Next, Bone Walker 1 to 10 Anari. He will attack Sagan. Sagan will react by himself attacking. And will he use a third attack? 11, 11. Now he will reduce the Bone Walker's chance of hitting down to an 8. 15 and 14. Sagan himself, 11 or less, misses both. So Sagan is out of activations. 1, 2. 1 gets into contact, can only attack once. 1, 2 is here. Nara will use it to dodge 1, 2. Why I'm doing this? I'm doing this for a reason, because now the Bone Walker can attack. 1 to 5 Nara. 1 to 5 Nara. 6 to 10 Anari. 11 to 15 Sagan. It's Anari. But Nara can activate and attack the Bone Walker. So Bone Walker at Anari is 1 hit with a 5. Power 10 minus armor 3, 7 or less. That's cocked. 11 is not enough. And Nari gets a 3rd wound. Here we go. And now, since he's out of activation, Nara can attack. It's engaged with Sagan, so 17 or less. Still only 2 hits. Power 14 minus 2. It's 2 wounds. This one gets down. It's the hero's turn. Anari, 11 or less. 7, she's fine. Theros, 11, needed a 13, he's fine. Sagan, 8, he's fine. And Nara, 11, she's fine too. Okay, all of my heroes got the activations. Who will go first? Nara will cast onto herself second Spectral Sight for advantage against undead. And Nara will start. She will cast Immolating Melting Touch on Sagan, which will get her an attack from the Bone Walker. With a 12 it misses. Arcane Step to get out. You can move 1 space, yeah. Okay, she gets out, Sagan is boosted. Sagan attacks the undead, reducing its offense. So, Bone Walker with a 4 still hitting. Sagan 17 down to 14. 2 14s. Luckily he was boosted, ignoring the armor. 2 and 15, 2 wounds, and 13 is enough to burn it down. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Okay. Anari will activate next. 1, 2, 3, 4. She's away. Sagan. 1, 2, 3, 4. Runs. Nara. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Theros. 1, 2, 3. And Sagan with his Ranger class gets out. Oh God, was that a difficult mission, and the weather was horrific in this one. As I said, difficult. I'm happy and glad that I finally managed to conquer it. And heroes go through exit 1, exit 2. We get the Fate D token and secret log 112. But there's still the Profane Burner there. I really had not the muse to do that. So I do not receive Fate token M, sadly. And let's go to 122 to reach secret log B12. 119, 22, B12. You have chosen your path forward. If you have Fate C, the heroes can only continue to Iji Village. If you have Fate D, the heroes can only continue towards Old Cemetery. I have neither one of these. Neither C, neither D. Therefore, I get Fate token D, because I go to the village. And yeah, that's all. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Okay, I have to add something, because when I cleaned the board to Tormented Souls, find the source of the sound, I did that. But I did not use the perceive action. Theros had enough activation points, therefore Theros would have used it within 5 spaces of the exit. Luckily it is. Therefore, we are allowed to read E08 on page 150. E08, Tormented Souls. It is up here, Tormented Souls. You come upon a heavy bronze door. The source of the voice is now unmistakable, the demands seeping from behind it. Pushing it open, you steep into a cavernous chamber lined with petrified oni. At the room's center, center stands a cauldron inscribed with ancient words, a vessel containing countless restless souls. Next, okay. We have to not be so hasty. So, exit, Nara was somewhere, Theros was here, and Sagan was 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, okay, there. Sagan activated once, and now he goes down to 2, Theros has perceived, Nara did nothing so far. Okay, I think this was the state of the art. Place inward next to the field. Place in A on the intrigue E token are connected, and heroes may move between them. They are one space apart. Models may draw a line of sight between the secret location and intrigue E on the field. Place a profane burner on objective on an object marker and an objective marker on B. The objective marker represents the soul cauldron. A hero may interact with the objective marker if they do read. Okay. So I will place that. Oh, cleansing the profane bonus. Okay, it's the same as previously. Okay. I was a little bit too fast. We will continue the quest in Freezing Winds. Okay, with this new elevation, Nara, since this is only. Sorry, where is the other intrigue token? Intrigue E. Basically, from this one you can go up to here. Here it is. So. It is one space apart, so now I will 1, 2, 3, 4, makes a run action. And with this, Nara will interact with the objective marker, spending her second activation. And with this, a hero may interact with the object marker if they do reach secret lock. When a hero interacts with the objective marker, they must perform a moral roll. On a successful roll, the hero may choose one of the following and then remove the marker. Let's see, Nara has a moral of 14. 8, she's fine. Read the incantation on the cauldron, absorbing the knowledge and power of the entrapped souls. Release the tormented soul from the cauldron prison. I will release the souls from the cauldron prison because they said release us, so I will release them, get Fate T, and one hero may remove one weak point. One hero may remove one weak point. Yeah, Nara, as a thanks, will do that. You receive one Fate point, Synergy point. Synergy point brings nothing, but I also get Fate Violet T. I will look that up before I continue with my. Actually, Sagan 1-2 guards this one. Theros 1-2 goes also to this exit. While he can go here and make a roll on the common loot table. Just putting it here, common loot table, then I can look it up at the same time. How many does he have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, common loot table, it's 1. Oh, roll on the superior loot chart. 20, medicine and healing potion. Oh, that was a great roll. So I will also put that up. And I'll let you join you for the hostiles next turn. Continue on. Since this turn, all heroes have managed their Freezing Winds roll. This undead respawns. And what does the table? Back to our turn. I just put down here the Violet T Fate token. Let's see what the chart says. It says a 4, which is 1 hostile. 1 to 10, it's a Vengeful Spirit. 13, another Bone Walker. 1, 2, 3, next to its body. Sagan is enchanted, I think. Yeah, I would have used, she stood here. Yeah, she would have run and then enchanted Sagan. Okay, Sagan is at least enchanted, I will call it. And we have Sudden Embers, 1 tier 1 hostile on the space that has an intrigue token closer to the end. One space behind the last hero. There is no space behind the last hero. Therefore, I will 1 to 10. It will be at this space. It's an 11, so it stays where it is right now. With this, 1 to 10, 1 to 5, 1 to 10, and otherwise one of the Bone Walkers. This one will activate. And let's see, 1 to 5, 6 to 10, 15 to 11, 11 to 15. This is cocked. This is a reroll. 11 to 15, so come on, lower. I need a low roll. 9. It will go to Theros. Theros will... He has a defense of 8, so it goes here. Theros will try to dodge. Theros die. Vengeful Spirits die. Theros was a 14. He has an agility of 13. Fails. The Vengeful Spirit hits 10 or less. It wounds Theros once. Next, Theros, yeah, and 2, 1 space goes here. Next, it goes once again next to Theros. And Theros will activate also. He will try to dodge again. With a 5, this time he manages, but the Vengeful Spirit also failed to hit. Going up to here, blocking the space with Anari. 1, 2. Didn't do anything. And 1, attacking Sagan. Sagan will attacking Sagan. Sagan will attack in return, allowing the skeletons offense. So from 12 because of the 2 other undead down to 9. Critical hit. Sagan is buffed, and this is cocked. Critical hits, so both hit each other. The skeleton at Sagan with a 15 fails to wounds, puts his weak points up to 15. And Sagan with a 16 also failed to wound, gives it only a weak point. That were these 2 activations, because it only walks, not runs. The other Bone Walker walks and goes up 1 space here. Next to Sagan, same procedure. Sagan reacts by attacking. Bone Walker 9 or less, it's a 7. Sagan 14 or less, it's 2 15s. He is boosted, mana 3, no weak point to exploit. Yeah, he loses this confrontation. And with a 3, Sagan gets a wound and is down. Down he goes. Now because of this, I have the feeling that I will lose the game. Let's go Nara. 9, she's fine, that was critical. Anari. 4, she's also fine. Theros. 4 is also fine, okay. Good. 1, 2. Oh, he should have stayed here because of 2 space allowance only. Okay. It's 1 space apart, and there's a line of sight to this. Therefore, Nara casts Spectral Sight onto herself. Then she will just reordering this. She will go 1, 2, and cast Second Chance on Sagan. 12 is enough. Sagan gets up with 1 wound token. Theros would have used one of his medicines to heal himself. So, up. Anari uses her ability to enchant Sagan. Use the ability to enchant Sagan. Goes 1 here. I can stays where she is. Sagan will get it one way or another. Yes, Sagan will attack this Bone Walker. This one will also react, so let's do this one first. With a 3 it hits, with a 1 it will put Sagan down. But now the confrontation, only 1 hit. Sagan will use 3 hits and will, because of second wind, and will use the weak point. So converting this one to a 1, 3 hits, and 8 and 4 is enough, and with a 12 it is also burned down. Sagan is put down once again, but this allows Nara 1, 2 to go here. Second chance on Sagan with a 2 and a 13, both enough to give Sagan back 2 wounds, which Sagan can use to go 1 space ahead and attack this Bone Walker, who will react in turn by attacking Sagan. Sagan will reduce the defense of the Bone Walker by 3, therefore 11 minus 3, 8 or less. Sagan is boosted, minus 3, needing a 14 now, therefore 1 hit, 15 or less. 13 is enough, 3 is enough, this one is also burned to a crisp. Sagan's second activation, Nari is still able, and Theros. Nari tries to cast Ice Spikes, 14 or less because of her debuff, and now 20 this time. 11 or less, 16 and 20, nothing happens. And Theros goes into the same space and attacks with unbuffed with his sword, which allows him to have 3 strikes, and the ghost has 1. With a 14 the ghost misses. Theros needing 13 or less, 4 and a 10 enables him to hit. Rogue with an agility of 13, he fails the 14, and 19 halved is 9 and a 5, 10, so with an 8 the spirit goes down. In his next activation he can go 1 space here, and Sagan goes 1 space here just to keep here the lid on, or basically block this passage, because now let's see what happens, except with this one spawning or respawning. The dice say a 12, 1 tier 2, 1, 2, 3, it is up here with 2 activation points, 1 and 2, and the chaos deck says tier 1 hostile gain sweep 1. Okay. Starting with him, 1 to 10 it goes to Theros. It's a 1, it goes to Theros. So with this space is occupied, Theros will react by dodging, and Nara has second sight, but she isn't enchanted. Where is he? Nari casted Ice Spikes and enchanted there. Okay, Sagan, so okay, she's not enchanted. These two will raid with their reaction. So, Vengeful Spirit 1, Theros will try to dodge. Theros will try to dodge. Fails, the Vengeful Spirit hits, and with a 4 it manages to wound Theros. Next, the same procedure. Theros with a violet die tries to dodge. He successfully dodged the 5 and will use that. Will he use that? No, he will stay where he is, just to occupy the space and give Nara a chance to attack. This Forgotten Hero will attack Sagan with a range attack. Sagan will try to dodge, and Nari will wait, as does Nara. So, violet die for the Forgotten Hero, 18 or less. It hits, but Sagan also manages to dodge with a 2. Sagan stays where he is. And next, the same procedure. With a 15 it sits, with a 17 it fails to, Sagan fails to dodge. And a 14 is not enough, so Sagan gets up to 16 weak points. And he's staggered, but since he had no wounds anyway. Next turn. Anari. With a 2 she's fine. Sagan. With a 15 he's fine. Theros. With a 10 he's fine. And Nara. With a 5 she's fine. Okay, all are fine. So, starting with Nara, casts onto herself. I need something to give her. She casts onto herself Leech Life. And Nara starts first, provoking an attack from the Forgotten Hero. -3 because -4 because of the close combat. So 16 misses. Nara has 2 strikes. Vengeful Spirit has 1 strike. So for Vengeful Spirit 8 or less, it's a 9, which fails. Nara, not in the same combat as Sagan is, therefore she is not boosted. Only 14 or less. 7 is a hit. She is enchanted, therefore power 14 is not halved. 8 is enough to put it at least down. And now, since all heroes are available, Nara will go, exit, Theros exit, and Nari exits, and Sagan exits. So, Sagan will activate next. He will try to dodge here, calling the activation. With a 6, the Forgotten Hero would have hit, but Sagan with a 6 would have also dodged. Therefore then, tuck, otherwise he would have used his Ranger class. So, with all this, now we are finally done. I hope you enjoyed this little add-on, unintentional. And yeah, if you do, you can like the video. Now we have done this one. We have gotten our Fate token. And now I can clean up the board and prepare the old cemetery. So, see you next time. Bye. The holidays were not kind to me. I totally forgot that at the end of each of my games, I follow the path along with you. So, this time, we managed to complete the Iji Pathway, and we have 2 time slots. But before that, we completed, therefore it goes one further. The first event, we have a kappa. From the dark waters of the stream, a kappa emerges. Water sloshes in a small bowl-like depression atop its head. The creature demands a toll for safe passage to the other side of the brook. Its voice a grating croak. Make an offering, remove 2 items of your choice. Attack, and we have to distribute. Or back away and find a different path. Advance time by 1. Okay, no, I will make definitely an offering, because I have enough items I'm not using, and I will give him 2 dagger from my stash. So these are removed. And with this, I already advanced the time by 1. And 150. Let's see what we will have here. 150. And 10, 1. Make an offering. Discard of your choice. The creature's turtle-like shell glistens under the dim light, and its webbed limbs move with an unsettling waddle as it approaches. A grotesque grin spreads across its beaked face as it nibbles on a strip of flesh, still clinging to bits of skin. It carefully examines your offering and makes a deep bow in gratitude, spilling the water on top of its head. The creature makes a strange expression as if in pain and vanishes. Receive Fate Violet G and a Banishing Talisman. Okay, I will do that afterwards. Let me just put in the cards to remember it. And now back to the beginning. That was that was the first one, and now the second event. This was for the night. I turned it on, and now also advancing it one day because we entered the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th day. For the second day, Nekomata. As you travel the winding path, you begin to notice a twin-tailed cat trailing you. Keep a subtle yet watchful distance. Its eyes flicker with a mischievous glint, as if it is more than a mere creature of flesh and fur. Greet the cat and follow where it leads. During the setup of the next quest, place Intrigue E on the space next to 3. Place this card beside the space. When you first interact with Intrigue E, read OK, distrust the cat and choose a different path. I will follow and beat only for the Nekomata. Okay, but with this, we advance it by daytime, and we will enter the old cemetery. Here it is. By daytime. So, I will grab the token and the... what was it? The token and the banishment talisman. And I will see you now for the next game. Bye.